How's it going, everybody? Ike Uday here, tapping in for another video. Told you guys I'm going to be making these a lot more often, so carrying on with that. This video is going to be about getting long-term results and the ups and downs of that whole process. This video is for anyone who is trying to improve in certain aspects of life, so be it self-improvement or any actual physical skill or trade. And it's really just speaking on the ups and downs that happen and the kind of phases that you should expect to feel. During your journey, there's going to be days that you come out and everything is on point, everything is dialed in, you know, you're hitting every shot. And then there's going to be instances that really make you doubt all of the work that you've done. It's almost like you forget how far you've came, because on this day, it's like you've taken a time portal back in time to when you hadn't worked on anything randomly. And then there's going to be flows where you get out of that low phase and you reach new heights. If you stay consistent during that low phase, you reach new heights that you've never seen before. So I want to just talk about, you know, the phases of development, and it's kind of like a loop. This phase loop that I'm going to bring up, and that is called hope, doubt, perseverance, regression, and renewal. So usually when you first start working on anything, you start seeing initial results, and that would be the hope phase. You're very hopeful. Things are going well. You're in flow, you are dialed in, and honestly, because you've never necessarily worked at it, or maybe it's been a while since you worked at it, you're fresh. So you're getting those newbie results, you're getting those freshman year gains. It's really easy to gain weight or through muscles when it's new to you versus someone who has reached a bunch of different workout plateaus and has fallen over again. It's maybe they might have the muscle memory to get back to where they should be, if not get better, but it's not going to be as drastic of a result change as someone who has been doing it and is at a different phase in their cycle. After the hope phase, you're going to have the doubt phase. And during this doubt phase is when it's kind of just like what I was just talking about, when different things start to happen that you start to doubt yourself. Maybe you've had a very poor couple goings. A lot of the times it really is just because you aren't being very consistent at this point in time. And since you're so used to having good results, you're not really putting two and two together that you really have to continue to be super anal about what it is that you want to get good at, and you have to keep those daily habits up. So usually it's when you lose those daily habits that this doubt phase becomes more apparent, and it has a big effect on you. And then you're going to reach the perseverance phase. You've had some highs, so you have little muscle memory markers in order to get there, and now you've fallen off again. And since you've fallen off, oftentimes what I've realized is when you fall off from a high spot, you tend to fall lower or get harmed more than you would have if you hadn't started at all. So maybe you're at an even lower phase. Maybe your shot is gross right now. Maybe your speech is super unfluent right now. Maybe you're super nervous again randomly in public situations that you know that you shouldn't be feeling this way because you've done it before, you've done the work before. So the perseverance phase is difficult because it takes a lot of work to kind of muster up all the courage once again, but it's also a very powerful phase but it's also like not necessarily as hard as it used to be, because you know all of the different tips and tricks that are needed to kind of navigate out of that tough time that it is that you are having. So those are 3 phases right now. You have hope, doubt, and perseverance. And then the 4th phase would be regression. And in the regression phase, that's often when you go back again. So now that you've persevered and you've gotten through So you have hope, doubt, and perseverance. So now that you are in the perseverance phase, sorry, there's just so many people walking around me and distracting me. So you're in the perseverance phase. You know all of the different tips and tricks that are needed to get back to where it is that you are trying to get back to. So you're now putting in the work and you're persevering. You realize that no matter what, like where you can get or your success and the better version of you can always be reached once again if you persevere and work hard enough to get to there. After this perseverance phase is regression again. You've put in super amounts of work. You've really left no stone unturned that last time. So you feel like these results should be everlasting, and for whatever reason they weren't. And generally speaking, you regress again because your confidence was really high during that perseverance phase and you put in the work. So you were expecting perhaps that work to be forever, or maybe subconsciously you were expecting that work to have to stand the test of time. You are now a new, changed, and fixed person. And this is when you kind of just start to come to terms with it's a lifestyle to be your self-improved higher self. It's a lifestyle for you to be your self-improved self, to be the best version of you. And the very last phase of this is renewal, where it becomes a lifestyle. The habits that you need to do in order to see the best version of you become a lifestyle. And this is the renewal phase where everything changes. Yes, you pretty much when you are working on yourself, this is a process that spirals upwards. It could spiral downwards, which we're not even going to talk about. We're talking about spiraling upwards. So your set point is always getting better during each one of these phases. So it's a loop where you could go back into the hope phase once again, but yes, your set point is still higher. So those are the 5 phases of development. You have hope, doubt, perseverance, regression, and renewal. So with that being said, y'all guys, I'm going through a very similar process. I think I'm right. I think I'm more so was just getting out of a doubt phase and I'm going into the perseverance phase. I'm implementing certain daily tasks and exercises that are really going to help me become a better version of myself. For me specifically, that is me working on public speaking and speech. So that is what it is that I am tailoring towards my daily routine. Obviously, I do other good stuff for myself, like working out and stuff, but for me, working out is as simple as 1, 2, 3. So I'm really being keen on my analytical and intelligent and like cognitive functions and cognitive skills is what I'm primarily focused towards. And for me, it's going to be all about speaking, my articulation, my ability to speak in front of people, in front of crowds, my ability to communicate how I feel, my ability to communicate my boundaries, my ability to communicate to friends and partners and family alike. my ability to communicate with businesses. Just the whole shebang pretty much is what I'm trying to work on as far as communication. So I'm happy that you guys are here with me on this journey. Let's keep on tapping in, and hope you can make this Monday or whatever day it is that you are tuning in the very best. Let's get it, y'all. Peace.